morning, everybody. Happy spring. It is Tanya coming to you from Southeast Minnesota, but today I am coming to you with a little something different. I did not think I would have time to record a regular podcast, so I thought it would be fun to do a bit of a spring vlog for you. So probably the next couple days, I'm not sure if I'll do one video or combine them all together, but I'm going to put together some video logs of what we're up to here on the farm as well as what I'm making. But today it is Friday, April 5th, I believe, and it is a beautifully bright and sunny day. You can kind of see the sun here on my shirt, but we are scheduled to get mid 50 degree weather Fahrenheit today, so we will be outside pruning finally after a little burst of winter that came this past week. But right now I'm just sitting in my office. I'm going to have my little time with my light therapy lamp. I'm going to have my breakfast. I'm going to have some scrambled eggs and English muffin. And yeah, I will catch up with you again in a little bit. And I hope you are having a good day and a good spring. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Well, hello, everybody. It is Saturday, April 6th, and I am coming to you quick. It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I did not get much time to chat with you yesterday, so I am going to put these 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, into a weekend spring vlog for you. I did want to share, though, quick, I'm about to head outside. Okay, backtrack. It has been a bit of a busy morning today. So yesterday you will have seen I did take you outside with me. It was about 55 degrees. We got 3 rows of grapes pruned. For those of you who don't know much about our farm, we have about 640 Concord grapevines in our vineyard, and we have 23 rows. Each row has between 20 and 30 vines. So in the past, it has taken us at least 3 hours to do one row. Well, maybe more like 2 hours to do one row with like 3 of us on the row, perhaps. Usually it's like 10 minutes of vine. But this year, we have a lot of damage in our vine, which is a bit of a bummer. We had a lot of hail last year, and the vines just aren't looking so healthy right now. We had a drought. We're still kind of in the middle of a drought. So the plus side to that is the pruning is going really quickly. The downside to that is that we don't know if we're going to have a really good crop or if we're going to have much of any crop this year. But my husband, he does more of I do more of the side of the farm business of like customer support. I do a lot of the berry picking, the jam making, the back end stuff like website, that kind of stuff. That's all me. He does more of the like management of minerals in the soil, cover crops, that sort of stuff. So he was saying we're going to try and put some lime on them, which is supposed to help them balance the soil. And then also some potassium I think they need. So we're going to give them a little, basically some fertilizer. We're going to do it in a natural way because we don't spray any chemicals here on our farm. But so he said we're going to try that this year, and we hope, fingers crossed, we'll get some rain. We are supposed to get rain tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. So hopefully that will happen. But today, so back to the story. Yesterday I took you outside with me for a while I was pruning, and today we're about to head out. We kind of wait until mid-afternoon to go out for our couple hours just because it's warmer. It gets to be kind of the warmest part of the day. And so it's the most comfortable to be out there, pruning for 2 or 3 hours. So that is the plan. I just woke up from a nap, but this morning I did not really take much video, but I drove with my 16-year-old son, who is a big dancer, and he had an audition in a city about an hour away from us here for a summer dance intensive, which is a 2-week-long dance program where it's basically like a dance camp, but they stay on site in a dorm, and they have pretty much morning till sleep time. They eat, sleep, dance, and talk about dance. So he had that this morning for a couple hours. So I did take a little bit of footage I spent my 2.5 hours waiting for him, working on my fingerless mitts. I got fur in my nose. I was taking a nap with my cat. So I have those I want to show you quick, and then I want to show you another project that I have been working on. And I apologize in advance if I seem kind of scattered and I'm talking really quickly, but I don't know, it just feels kind of busy today, and I am pretty excited about what I've been working on. I have been, if you watched the last episode, I have been still working on my granny square blanket. I'm about 2/3 of the way through sewing or crocheting it together, and I will show you that on the next podcast, which hopefully will come out next weekend. But in the meantime, let me show you the 2 things that I have been working on most are this, which is my bounce blanket by Tin Can Knits. It is a DK weight blanket. I'm going to hold it up for you here. So this is made out of my 2023 Yarn Ink Advent Countdown. Let's see if I can bring it closer. I don't have my good lighting on right now because I just tried to record real quick before I went outside, but it is a gradient. Let me see if I hold it this way. It starts with kind of a lighter pink, goes into kind of a light purple, and then we're kind of going into blues. So if I get a chance that's better. I was going to say if I get a chance, I may put in a picture of it, but I might not have time to fuss around with that just because, like I said, this is sort of supposed to be a low editing sort of way for me to come to you today and this weekend. But I have been really enjoying that. I think last time I showed it to you, I was kind of down here somewhere. I think I was just about to start color 11. And now I am through color 14, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I just finished 14. So I'm about to do 15, but that has been bringing me a lot of joy. So I have 24 colors. So if I'm in 15, that means I have about 10 left. So I'm a little over halfway. And then the other exciting bit of business that I have been working on are my fingerless mitts, the pattern that I'm working on. And so this is my own design, and they're going swimmingly. I think I'm going to call them the Spring Rainstorm mitts, just because they kind of have this, again, so hard to see. There's sort of like this slip stitch thing that comes down that reminds me of like rain falling on a window. So anyway, this is one. This is a pair that's made with the yak sock that I dye in my store. But I am using, so these mitts, back up here. Like I said, I'm talking fast and furious today. These mitts are made with a 50-gram set. So two 50-gram minis in contrasting colors. And I am going to do, the next sample I'm going to work on is a lot less contrasty. It's more monochromatic. I'll show you. It is two different blues. So it'll look just a little bit different. But the pattern itself is going to be available in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. The medium size fits the average woman's hand, I would say. I can make the medium. So I believe my plan is for the small will fit a circumference of 6 inches, and that's this circumference right around your hand here, 6, 7, or 8 inches. And so today, when I was waiting for my son at his dance audition, I was finishing up this mitten. I have already made, I didn't weave in the ends. Here, I did finish my mitten, the thumb. But this is the first pair. Apologies. Like I said, the lighting is not good because I don't have it set up like a podcast this morning or this afternoon, but you can see the slip stitches a lot more clearly on this one. So, if you look really closely, you'll see differences. This ending is slightly different, or the ribbing is different on this first 2 pair. And then between my first, so the nice thing about fingerless mittens is when you're designing a pattern is that you have to make 2 of them to make a pair. And although they're similar, they're not quite exactly the same. So for these 2, I tried different ribbing. I also tried different increase for the thumb gusset. This one I really like. I decided that it needed the texture of the garter or the pearl bumps on the thumb, which I didn't include in the first one. So like I was about to say, is that I was writing up the pattern this morning. I've got it all written up for the medium size. I'm going to test those directions, medium and large size, I think. I will be testing those directions again, probably this afternoon. After I'm done with my outside work, I will cast on the second one of this and work on that. And if I didn't say so before, this is going to be a pattern for DK weight yarn, or in the case of what I'm doing is fingering weight held double. So you can choose to make it in 2 colors of DK weight, where you just have 1 strand of each. You can do fingering held double. You can even do it in all the same color. You wouldn't have to switch colors at all. But the reason that I am doing it this way is because I do put out a fair number. I sell a fair number of 50-gram sets with 2 different colors in it. And I often get people, specifically when I'm at the farmer's market, asking me for ideas like they've never done color work before, where color work meaning not necessarily stranded, but just doing a project that has 2 colors in it. So this pattern will be great for beginners that have never used 2 colors in a project before and maybe are a little intimidated about how to do that. So that was what I designed this for, with this in mind. So my plan is in the next week to finish up the writing of the pattern, check it technically, have it all tech edited, and ready to go out to testers, hopefully by, let's see what today's, the 6th, hopefully by the 20th of April at the very latest, preferably like the 15th of April. So I already have 1 person who volunteered to help me, I believe, but if anybody else is interested in test knitting these, I'll take as many knitters as I can get, probably within reason, because I do have multiple sizes. So like I said, you need less than 50 grams of fingering weight in 2 colors. So if you have some scraps, of course, the smaller your sizing, the less you'll need of that yarn. So if you're interested in that at all, please let me know. Either probably the best way is to send me an email at berryfunyarns@gmail.com. Let me know you're interested in the mitts, helping me test the fingerless mitts, the spring rainstorm fingerless mitts, as I'm calling them. But yeah, I really want that pattern to be out and ready by the middle of May. So it might be kind of a quick turnaround, but I will say that these mitts knit up very quickly. I can knit a mitt in probably 3 hours. So if you have some dedicated time, it should be pretty simple and straightforward for you to knit. So yeah, I think that is about it for now. That is mostly what I've been working on. I'm really trying to get this pattern out, and then I really want to have, I'm going to hopefully do a hat pattern with a similar patterning on it to go with it if anybody wants to make a hat and mitts set. So like I've said in past episodes, I do set up at the Rochester Farmers Market starting at the beginning of May. So I would like to have a lot of these patterns ready to go with kits so that I could share them with my farmers market customers, and then of course anyone else in the world who's interested in using them. So yeah, okay, I'm going to stop my rambling and get on with my work, because although I do get a little bit of leeway from the rest of the family because I am the fastest pruner, just by simple fact that I have done it the most, if I wait too long to go outside, I'm probably going to get the teasing of not coming out when everyone else did, because it is so much easier for us to all be out there at the same time, because we get through a row a lot quicker when we all work together. So I will be back with you later. I'm not sure if I'll have time to check in again tonight before it gets dark, but for sure tomorrow I will do a little chatty segment mixed in with some of the video. Tomorrow I hope to be spending more time inside. I think we have plans to go to the home DIY store in town, some of such thing, to get some supplies for some projects we need to get done around the house. But otherwise, I hope to be spending a lot of my time knitting and working on projects. So until I see you later, have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. Well, good evening, friends. It is Sunday evening, April 7th, and I am sitting in my office / craft room, and I was really feeling the need to reorganize and clean, and I got a new vacuum, which you may have seen. Big excitement today as I got a new vacuum. So those of you who've been around here a while know that I have 6 cats, and that happened last spring. We ended up adopting, well, we fostered mama and 3 babies, and then we ended up adopting 3 out of the 4 of those in July last year. So we have a lot of cats in our house, and so I vacuum a lot. My previous vacuum was starting to make very weird noises, and it was starting to smell funny. And it wasn't the highest quality vacuum that ever there existed back during COVID time. So I think this was like fall of 2020, before vaccines or anything of that came out. My husband got COVID and he was in quarantine. And then my youngest, Lincoln, who was 8 at the time, got COVID, and he actually threw up when he got sick. And I was still asleep. It was early in the morning, and he thought he was going to be helpful, and he was going to vacuum up his throw up. So he used our old vacuum to do that. And so, of course, I woke up. I had already been taking care of my husband for a couple of days, and I saw what he had done. And of course, I felt horrible because he was just trying to help, but I was not going to save that vacuum. So I threw that vacuum away, and because it certainly was not a wet vac. And thank goodness for Target Drive Up. I ordered whatever vacuum that was of reasonable quality in stock, and I went to pick up a new vacuum. And so that has been our vacuum for the last 4 years. Well, that is the one that was on the fritz. So this time I did a little research on vacuums that were best for pet hair and pet dander. And that's how I came up with this one. It isn't the like Cadillac. It's not the Dyson Cadillac of all vacuums, but it got the best overall affordable rating in some of the reviews I have looked at. So anyway, I ordered it. It came today. Gotta love good old Amazon. And so I put it together. You will have seen some footage of that very exciting excursion or exciting adventure. And then, of course, I decided, well, I'm going to reorganize. So I moved some things around here in the office, which you will have seen. I think I took a time lapse, but sorry for this. Maybe I should turn this off. Is that better? Oh, sorry about that. So much better. The lighting is still weird because I don't have on my ring lights or anything, but anyway, my desk used to be against that wall, looking out that window. But my desk is really just a really nice piece of wood that I have sanded and put some polyurethane on. And then it's sitting atop TV trays. I'm very low budget here. So I just picked it up and I moved it and did some vacuuming. And now I'm just rearranging my desk. And then I'm going to go into our bedroom, which is right next door. And I'm going to do some rearranging and whatnot in there. So these 2 rooms are used very heavily in our house because, of course, you sleep in your bedroom, but this room is also like our guest room. It's my craft room. It's my office. The closets. Someday maybe I'll show you my closets when they aren't quite so crazy. My closets are organized. I have 2, and they're organized with all of my business things, all of my undyed yarn, all of my like packaging for mailing and all that kind of stuff. And then in the bedroom, my husband has a desk for his days when he works at home, which is usually 1 time a week now. But so after COVID, these 2 rooms turned into very heavily used. So, and they also happen to be the 2 rooms where my once feral kitty, S'mores, who is the mama of the 2 boys we adopted that we fostered last year, she feels safest in these 2 rooms. So I have to have litter pans and I have to have scratching posts and all that kind of stuff too. So it ends up being, they're not very big rooms. I'd say maybe they're like 12 feet by 15 tops. So they're not super huge rooms when you have a bed in there and a chair and all the other stuff. So anyway, that's what I'm doing tonight. This will probably be the last time I come to you for this little weekend vlog. I didn't do very much today. We got up kind of later, and then my husband and I, I did take some footage of this, so you should see this. It's a very rainy day. So rainy, awesome, because we need rain here. Downside is that the fix my husband did on our 3-season porch from Friday, maybe not Friday, that was earlier in the week. I don't know if I mentioned that on here or not. But we had a leak in our roof, and he tried to fix it this weekend, and then we got rain again today, and it obviously didn't work. There's something else wrong. So even the tarp that's up there now is not really, it's slowing the drip, but it's not really helping. So that's sort of a bummer. But otherwise, we went out and we had to do some errands, get some, milk, yogurt, things like that. And then we stopped at Home Depot because for art class during the month of April, my sixth grader and I are going to be building a cat condo from scratch. And so we got all the wood and basic supplies for that. Tomorrow, Lincoln and I are going to go out to find some carpet remnants and some fleece fabric to wrap the wood pieces in. But yeah, so we did that. I took a little rest this afternoon and I did do some knitting. I may run downstairs and grab the socks I've been knitting on to share with you in a little bit here. But yeah, so that's where I am right now. And I hope you had a really great weekend and that your spring, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, is starting to show its colors, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, if you are enjoying the wind down of fall and soon to be what will probably be winter for you. So yeah, I think that's it for now, and I may come back to you in a little bit with that sock project I wanted to show you. Okay, see you later, guys. Okay, I'm back. I went downstairs to grab my sock project. Now, this sock project is, I started it, I showed you on the last podcast. This is out of the Woolens and Nosh Targhee sock base, which is 90% Targhee, I think it's superwash Targhee. And let me see if I have my tape. Yes, superwash Targhee and 10% nylon. So this is how it is knitting up. And I did a knit 2, purl 2 rib all the way down the leg and the top of the foot. And then you can see the stripes on the bottom of the foot here. There's like larger brown stripes and green. It's an interesting kind of, there's like 3 little bigger. It's kind of an interesting repeat. Anyway, here it is in the ball, cake, whatever you want to call it. So I love how the yarn feels, and I really thought that these were going to be good, long lasting, because the Targhee, I thought it was a little bit better than the superwash merino, but it could be. So here's my issue. My son, Lincoln, these were socks, if you recall, I made them in February when I was on vacation, and these were for him. I think these were the Georgia socks, but I just used the pattern by Tracy Miller, the little down the leg lace pattern. Anyway, these were his, and he has only had them for like 7 weeks, and he blew through the bottom of them. He got 2 holes in them. Oh, you can kind of see this part here is thinning too. I don't know if you can see that on there. I did take a picture of the hole before I fixed it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of bummed. So what I did is I made some patches. I am not a great darner, but I do these. I actually officially don't know how to darn socks. I need to learn. Patty lives across the way. My friend Patty, who is, if you've ever done the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, it's actually the Patty Jo White in Fish Lips Kiss Heel. But anyway, she lives across the way, and she is going to teach me how to officially darn socks, hopefully this summer. But anyway, I put 2 little patches in just to kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Kind of extend the life of these socks for him. And he has promised he is not going to wear them unless he has slippers on. But I'm not sure what he did. I know he wore them a ton. And, he doesn't wear shoes with them. And he probably wore them down to the basement. I'm not sure if he shuffles along and didn't pick up his feet or what happened, but I was really surprised that they wore out in 7 weeks. So anyway, because of that, I have decided, I put these were supposed to be for my husband, who is kind of hard on his socks. So I am a little bit nervous about, knitting a pair of socks and then having them be bad in 7 weeks. So I wasn't going to give these to him, and I was going to try them out on myself first to see how they wore, to see if my son was just an anomaly of how they've worn. If anybody out there has ever used the Woolens and Nosh Targhee sock base, comment below. Let me know how they have worn for you, because it might just be him, and they'll be fine. But anyway, I was gonna give these to my husband, and then they're not my colors. I mean, it's very pretty, but it was a more masculine skein that I purchased specifically for him, with him in mind, or one of my kiddos. And yeah, so in the end, he tried them on and he decided I'm going to give them to him. Probably not until next fall, though. I'll set them aside in my box of socks. And then in the fall, he will have a new pair and he'll just be a little extra careful. He always wears shoes when he wears his. He even wears shoes in the house. He wears Crocs. And so even though he's a little harder on them, I'm hoping he'll be okay. But they're just socks. And it's not like I don't have 2 buckets of sock yarn that I couldn't make more. So I'm trying not to be too stressed about them not lasting super long. But anyway, that was kind of a bummer that happened last week for me, is that those socks did not last. But if you look at them, they do not look like, I mean, look at how they've pilled. It looks like, can you guys see that? It looks like he's been wearing them for like months and months and months. So maybe he just really loved them, and he does really only have one pair that he loved and fit because his feet were growing so fast I couldn't keep up with them. So that'll be my goal over summer, is I'm going to hopefully knit him quite a few socks, so that way he'll have a stash in the fall, because he really loves hand knit socks. And it does take longer because he's got the 72 stitches around. He's got the big foot. But then if he has more in his rotation, I think it will be better on the socks. They will wear better. So anyway, yeah, that's my project I've been working on. But I have been enjoying knitting on these. I actually was knitting on them when I was walking on the treadmill this week, and that was kind of fun. I can't do a super quick walk. I can only do, there's there reaches a certain point where I cannot walk that fast and see what I'm doing without falling and hurting myself. So anyway, all right, that is going to be it for this vlog. I'm sure there'll be a little more video of me organizing here in this room and the next room, but I hope to come to you again in the not so distant future, probably a week to a week and a half. I hope to have a regular podcast out for you, and then with some more information about the spring rainstorm mitts, which again, if you're interested in helping me test knit those fingerless mitts, please let me know. But yeah, I am excited for all the fun things to come here in the spring. So I hope you are well and you are enjoying your day wherever you are. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.